was actually Medusa. It just didn't work with the vibe for today.
Yeah. I
This is my
very much
actual
like.
costume.
I like the upside down feel that you're going for, but I'm a parent. I'm a sloth parent. Um, so staying with the
I
thing.
love this
All
so
right.
much.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday. It is time for the pie temperature check. I'm going to talk quickly because we've got a lot to go over today. This is kind of a learning session that we're going to do. So 2 weeks ago, Rachelle dropped in that she uses like ChatGPT agents as editors. So we're going to try to create something similar for the proposal environment. Anyways, and I don't do a lot of agent work, so this is going to be a lot of fun for me. And this is like one of these role reversals where Rachelle is the technology expert, showing me how things are going. So welcome to the upside down.
The
Yeah,
upside down.
the upside down. Anyways, if we have housekeeping items, obviously happy Halloween, happy Diwali, if you celebrate. Yeah, and if you are listening to this on a podcast, we have a YouTube video where you can actually watch what we're doing because my suspicion
You're
is
gonna
our
need
narration
that for today.
is going to be off point on this one. All right. Why were you wearing that during our team call, Ben? That's a great question, Treslin. And the answer is that I want you to respect me as, as a consultant working for your organization. But, you know, you let me know.
If you are listening to this as a podcast, please go find the YouTube video so you can enjoy Ben in his sloth onesie. It's amazing.
I have a whole family of these outfits. Little kid sloths, a bigger daddy sloth. Like we anyways, moving along. All right.
Amazing.
So yeah, today we are making an agent. So Rochelle asked me to prepare documents. I hope that I prepared documents.
I hope you have too. If not, it might still work.
Yeah.
So we are going to build a little GPT assistant for you to review your proposals. So I'm gonna walk through this like super step by step, just in case someone is listening
Yeah,
and
100%.
not following along. But so you're gonna navigate to ChatGPT, right? You're gonna go over to Explore GPTs in your left-hand sidebar, and
Yep.
then in the top right corner is a big white button that says Create.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, so when you're in here, there's two options. There's Create and Configure. Create is like an AI assistant to build your assistant. It's very meta. But basically, you can type in this little box and tell it what you want to do, and it will create the instructions and such for you on the back end.
Okay.
Or if you know exactly what you want to do, you can go into Configure and then populate stuff as you want. We're going to bounce back and forth between the two.
We are. Oh, look at you.
We are.
I'm excited.
Because I think it's kind of helpful to have the assistant build your assistant for you. It helps you kind of work out the kinks. So,
Okay.
what would you like to create? We are going to ask ChatGPT or the GPT builder
Yeah.
to create a proposal editor and consultant.
Just that?
We're going to hold on.
Oh.
We're going to say we want to create a proposal editor and consultant. It will not be a writer.
It will.
Oh, you already read that. It will not be a writer.
You're a writer. Got it.
It will function as a knowledge base for the procurement.
Okay, so I haven't loaded up, like I haven't given it access to this client's like
Yep.
SharePoint or anything like that. Okay.
We'll do that in Configure. We're going to see what it does first, and then I'll show you how it's going to use this information. Like if you were to click over to Configure, it's totally blank right now. So we're going to feed this up, see what it says.
Okay.
Okay, so it's updating, it's retooling. What it's doing is writing instructions in that configure section.
Okay.
Oh, and then you get to name your GPT.
Yeah. Let's rename it. So in this case, I am actually doing a recruiting grid. So this will be recruiting proposal consultant.
Perfect. It likes to get the fluffy stuff out of the way. It's probably gonna ask you what kind of image you want for the recruiting GPT.
Is it? It's going to give me an image. This is
It's gonna give
fantastic.
you an image
What
for
does
your
it think? What does it think of recruiting proposal consultant? That's beautiful. Let's go.
perfect. 2
Yeah,
hands shaking over a document.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. We're signing away the life of someone else. This is fun.
Perfect. So we can just say yes, image is fine.
Okay, great.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
How would you like this GPT to respond? For instance, should it use formal tone, provide detailed clarifications, or maintain a specific style? I have the style.
I this is entirely up to you. I like my GPTs to use business casual.
Oh, okay. But I
So,
have a company style guide.
um, because your GPT
Yeah.
is functioning as an editor, it doesn't necessarily need to be in that specific style. So what we can tell it is
Yeah.
that you want it to have a conversational tone or business casual or formal, but refer to the style guide. I just don't want to confuse it because this is how it's going to interact with you, not how it's going to review your content.
So, but they have like a tone of professionalism, an expression, a voice, an editing standard.
Right.
Okay.
Which is what you want it to look at when it's reviewing your content, but
Okay.
this is legitimately asking, like, "How do you want me to talk to you?"
Oh.
So they're separate.
Oh, it's how it talks. I did not understand that at all, Rochelle.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so if you, like, want to build, like, a motivational GPT, like, it can be fun and silly.
That's hilarious. So, sorry, you suggest business casual?
I suggest business casual,
You to I didn't realize that at all. What?
yeah, it took me a while to figure out, like, okay, I don't care what tone you use.
Yeah. I can't believe they didn't want to go with Papa Sloth. Are those hands or crab claws? They are hands. They are poorly designed hands, Kathleen. And unknown user, I can't believe they didn't want to go with Papa Sloth. You know what? I hear you. I'm actually thinking I am a dad, and I'm just a dad who takes responsibility for his children like dad should. Like dad should. But there is like a big, darker colored sloth costume that we, reference Papa Sloth. All right. The tone is now set to business casual. You can test out recruiting proposal consultant in the preview to the right and let me know if there's anything else you would like refined. What would you like to add or adjust next? Rochelle, it looks like it's putting it back on you. What are we doing?
Alright. So we have done pretty much everything that the assistant is going to allow us to do. We're
Okay.
gonna go into configure.
Yeah, let's go. Whoa.
Okay, so see those instructions? It has populated those based off of our conversation
Yeah.
with the assistant to build the assistant. I cannot get over how weird that is. I've built like 8 of these to help
Yeah.
my workflow and it's so silly to me. Anyway, so we're going to pop into those instructions.
Okay.
Um, we're just gonna skim through them real quick, make sure.
Specialized in procurement assists users by providing guidance, edits, and strategic insights into proposal development rather than generating original content. This GPT draws from established knowledge procurement processes, best practices in proposal formatting, compliance, and procurement standards, and successful bid strategies. It should focus on helping users refine language, align with guidelines, and make strategic improvements to proposals while remaining neutral, concise, and detail oriented. The tone is business casual, friendly yet professional, and avoids overly technical jargon unless specifically requested. If asked to provide specific answers or edits, it will provide suggestions and recommendations only without writing or creating original content. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to flag this kind of like generic proposal procurement best practices. Not going to do anything with it yet. We're going to just maybe note that that could be too generic. So
Okay.
what we're going to do is underneath this, we're going to add some very specific, up in the instructions, we're just going to hit enter and we're going to add some additional instructions.
I'm ready.
So we're going to tell it, uh, sorry, my brain just wrote upside down. We need to tell it that we are about to give it, sorry, we need to tell it that it is to reference the provided knowledge base.
You like? Do we say you? Like, are we personalizing it? You will reference.
We could say this GPT or
Here, why don't I make
Or
this big
you.
so that you can see? You will reference or this GPT? Like, are we? It feels
Either one.
bad.
It will recognize either one.
Okay.
So we can just say this GPT will reference only, sorry, only is very important. This GPT will reference only the provided knowledge files, and then we can name those files once we've uploaded them.
Okay.
So you're going to
All right.
scroll down to knowledge. And while you're uploading your files, I'm going to answer this question really quick. So to get to this screen in ChatGPT, you go to ChatGPT, you go to the left-hand sidebar, you click Explore GPTs,
Yeah.
and
So here we
then
are. I'm in
click,
ChatGPT, explore GPTs, and then I hit create in the
yes,
upper right hand corner. Yeah. There.
perfect.
Now Andrea has a visual. And now I'm gonna go back though, so I can keep one GPT screen open in case we want to ask it other stuff. All right.
Perfect. Okay, so you are going to upload files. This is where I would upload the RFP, any notes from a pre-proposal, in my case, any client notes. This is where your knowledge-based style guide would go.
Yeah. So I have these two files. So one is a sample of both their formal and informal writing, as well as their internal writing guideline that I actually did run through like ChatGPT before to summarize all the stuff because the style guide had like a lot of stuff we didn't need, and I just wanted to pull out like tone for the most part. Like it had like, hey, make sure that like the margins are buffered by this, and
Perfect.
yeah. And then I have so for the client, I have that, and then I have the successful response that they gave to BCI, which is the BC Investment Management Corporation. It's our largest public investment management corporation in the country, or in not in the country, but in BC. So, and then I have yeah, and then I have the original bid, and then I have the client information that we knew about BCI at the time of the bid, and then I just have their updated like annual reports from the client. So you tell me, what am I? I'm uploading this style guide and our
Yep, style
response.
guide is good. Response is good. I'm going to put that disclaimer on anything we talk about with AI. Anything that goes in here could potentially become public, even if you
Yeah,
are not feeding things. So if you need to de-identify anything before you build your GPT, do that.
yeah. So I didn't because the procurement was public. So I guess I've given away the ghost because they can just look up who the winner was. But I've redacted the actual company information, but I haven't redacted who the buyer was. So
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So I have redacted company name writing document. I have redacted company name response is there. So upload.
Perfect. Upload.
It's done. It's done. It's done.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to upload anything else,
Yeah.
or you do that. So yeah, we're going to scroll back up and tell it to reference only those knowledge files. Perfect.
Name writing. What did I actually call this thing? Writing guide. Okay. Writing guide and redacted company name. What did I call this one? Response to, yeah. Okay. It's to BCI RFQ. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good times.
Perfect. Okay, do you need to upload the like RFP that you would be responding to?
Uh, you tell me.
Okay, because that's what I would do. Like I build one for each procurement. So I'm like, here's the all of the RFP documents or procurement documents from the client.
So they didn't provide us with a BC. Like they didn't provide us with their client information. We got that from their website. Like we went and scrolled through their website and tried to figure out like what do they care about and stuff like that because they had some of it in the document, but not like a ridiculous amount.
Okay. I would have put that in like a Word document and uploaded it here. Do you
Okay.
have RFQ?
Yeah, there's their RFQ.
Okay, perfect.
So for those of you who aren't in the recruiting space for bids, you don't really like respond to like, hey, we're looking for an IT, like a CFO, please respond to this bid. What they do instead is they have these like 5-year slots that you bid for. And because they don't want, every time they post something on their careers page, they don't want a million recruiters reaching out to them. They just want like the 3 that they've already pre-qualified, or the 4 recruiters that they've already pre-qualified. So you bid on these like lots to like bid on their IT services. So this is what we're bidding on here, just in case you're
Excellent.
curious. Yep.
I'm
All right.
very good
So,
because I didn't
but
know what a recruitment RFP was.
oh, RFQ is request for qualification, or sometimes it can also be request for quotation. Welcome to our acronym world of
I
love.
mean, I knew that one. I just didn't know what a recruitment one looked like.
Yeah. Um, so the
So,
question is, though, is it only going to reference those 2 documents I referenced, or but now I've uploaded a whole bunch?
it should reference the entire knowledge base.
Okay.
I typically only upload like 3 or 4 files max,
Oh,
and I
sorry.
don't always spell it out. So this is an experiment.
Yeah.
If it's only going to pull from the 2 that you named.
All right.
We probably don't need Dolly image generation. You can keep web browsing just in case.
Okay.
If you wanted to, you can update the pre-made prompts. I never do that because I need to ask it very specific questions. So I
Okay.
just this part. So what we can do now is run a test on it in that little sidebar.
Let's go.
So what I would do is grab like a partial response to a question,
Okay.
pop it in here, and say, based on your knowledge, is this responsive?
Okay. Sure. So aligning values. So they had, yeah, this was I want to be 100% honest. We are shocked that we won this
Excellent. I love it.
because I was second proposal chair on this. This was in 2019. Um and we did not use a mirroring method or anything. We didn't take their questions and put it into our bid. We responded the way that we wanted to respond.
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put that in. This is a question from BCI, and our response is this response responsive? Is
Sure.
that okay?
It'll
I'll
figure it out. It's fine. It's smart. This is always makes me nervous to test technology live.
There's no way that this could go wrong. All right, so I typed it into, so when you go to the GPT screen, for those of us who are listening to this, there are 2. There's a left screen and a right screen. The left is where we're building the GPT. On the right is where we test it, and it just looks like a regular chat GPT thing. So I just asked it, I cut and paste like one of our responses in, and it's coming up with this, yes, the response you provided is generally responsive. Okay, so great. However, there are a few suggestions to improve alignment. Highlight metrics for accountability and responsiveness. Okay, good standard practice. ESG alignment and transparency. So it's calling us out, saying that this company appears to be really concerned about ESG. ESG is I don't know what the actual acronym is, but it's basically environmental.
Environmental, social, and governance.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, it's right there. Cheater.
I was gonna take credit, dang it.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. And then clarify conflict resolution protocols. So somehow it's picked up that BCI has concerns about these.
Okay. We can
All right.
ask it where it found those concerns specifically, where in the knowledge base, if
Okay.
you are not sure. I like to do that. If my GPT pulls something and I don't quite remember it from the RFP, I will ask for it to reference.
Yeah, I haven't dealt with this RP for 6 years, so I am definitely. Where did you find concern number 3 around conflict resolution as an issue for BCI?
Ah,
On quality, but it can be inferred from their emphasis on quality control, reliability, and sustained performance from vendors. Specifically, BCI values vendor accountability, consistency, and service, and proactive. Okay, so it's making a guess.
it's making a leap. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've solved that.
All right. So not a crazy leap. All right. So do I consider this a success? It's basically said, hey, you gave an answer. Wasn't a great answer. Here's how you can make it better. Like that seems like what I wanted GPT to do for me.
That's exactly what you wanted to do.
Okay.
And then you can, like, if you're not liking its answers or if you're finding that it's still being a little bit generic, like I said, we flagged in the configuration instructions, it's noted to pull from just like procurement best practices.
Yeah.
You might try getting rid of that so that it's literally just looking at the knowledge base. It kind of requires a little bit of tinkering, but in general, these are the steps to build your own little assistant.
Okay. So am I done now? Like is that I'm effectively done. So at this point, I can like throw things in here from the response and say, please tell me whether this is a good answer or not, or help me improve this answer, or knowing what you know about the client. Is that
Ye
sort of the idea?
Yep,
How
you
much
would hit
how much
create in that top right button and be good to go.
seriously?
Yep,
That's it?
that's it. This was a
Uh,
mini session. It's real fast.
I'm gonna only make this me because I'm not 100% confident in my redaction abilities. Uh,
I always make them only me,
oh,
just because then nobody can accidentally stumble upon it, because who needs my GPT for my proposal? Nobody.
yeah. How long does this take to save it?
Normally just a few seconds. I wonder if it's because you have significantly more files than I usually do.
I mean, they're not big though. Like, oh, one is 22 megabytes.
Oh, yeah, mine are usually small.
Something went wrong if this issue persists. So it's me. It's not you, GPT, it's me. So what if I remove that document, their annual report?
Perfect.
Okay. And let's remove their stewardship report. Okay. And now let's try to create.
Excellent. I'm going to also address Kathleen's. Would you revise the initial instructions to tell it not to make assumptions or inferences? In that line where we said only draw from the knowledge base, you can absolutely revise that to say don't make assumptions or inferences, draw only specifically from the knowledge base provided.
All right.
And that might solve the problem. Again, not foolproof because AIs are starting to use like nonlinear computer logic. And so they're not taking instructions as well as they should be, which is a whole fascinating conversation. But yes, you can add that to your instructions if you're seeing that it's making those leaps and you don't want it to.
I
Is
want to
it?
ask it why it's, oh, I got it. Third time's the charm.
Yay!
Third time's the charm. Okay. So now if I go back to, I now have this recruiting proposal agent.
Yes. So now you
And
can just click on that.
yeah, and it gives me a regular screen, and I know that I'm in it because of the image and everything like that. And so now I've got a tool that I can use to like fix issues on this bid, right? So,
Yes.
all right. Um, oh, okay. That was actually like a lot easier than I expected it to be. And a lot fewer steps.
Yay.
And a lot fewer steps than I expected it to be. Okay, so interesting. So we had all this stakeholder information inside here, inside our BCI Klein information. Is it referencing that? I like could I throw a bid in there and ask it whether it thinks that we're a good fit?
You could. You could use that little attachment and say, like, based on this procurement,
It's
is this a good fit? I have no idea. I've never used it for that particular use case, but in
based
theory,
on redacted company name documents. Are we a good fit to respond to this bid? I'm just curious what it's going to tell me.
this
Uh,
is fascinating.
like, can I use this to? Okay. All right. So it's for those of us who are not watching, who are listening. What we asked it like whether we're a good fit for the bid, and it's giving us like reasons for why. Um,
And it
so
does seem to be pulling specifically from your knowledge base, like, it's referencing
yeah,
specific past experiences, workflow, knowledge, so
it says that we have a structured commitment to ESG, and I remember we struggled with that. So we must have written something that was a little bit namby pamby there. Like,
you fooled the AI, you got past it.
yeah. All right. So I'm curious though, can I ask it, are there any red flags in this bid for our company? I'm just curious, like, can I use this to like support like a go no go as well?
I love
Um,
that because someone just asked that question in the chat.
chat, please do a go no go a lot. Thank you, thank you. Like I wouldn't rely on this obviously because we did win this bid and we were a bad fit. So and it's true. They awarded this to like six different recruiters or five different recruiters, if I remember correctly. They were like they had it initially as four lots and then they broke it up into even more. So someone passed their bar.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So interesting. Okay. So that's like so it's giving me some red flags and everything like that. But now let's go back to like if I give them my whole response, can it evaluate it to say that we made it or not? Like I'm curious because I know that we didn't write to the bid. Do you
I have no idea. This is beyond we have exited the upside down. We have gone further into it than I have ventured.
Okay, okay, perfect.
I very
Uh,
much specifically use it as an editor. Like, here's my response, here's the question. Is this good? How do I improve it?
well, let's ask it from an editorial perspective then. This document, or these documents, sorry, these documents represent the RFQ put out by BCI and the winning bid. No, I shouldn't even tell it it's the winning bid, right? And redacted companies' response to their bid. Can you suggest improvements? And I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting over a cold. So, uh, based on messaging and design, or yeah, okay. I'm curious. I'm curious what
Sure.
like it's. I'm asking it to read like our response is not that long, which is why I wanted to use it. I was really I really wanted to use like my mining bid, but I reached out to the company that I did it for, and they're like, "No, like the bid is still not closed." And this was 7 years ago.
Oh
This
my
bid,
gosh,
like the sales cycle on this is so long.
that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Um. Okay. So it is making some suggestions. So it's like we are not specifically linking to BCI strategic goals. We are not highlighting ESG enough, and we knew that when we did it. We don't have competitive differentiators, and I bet you that's true. I bet you every
Mhm.
recruiting company said the same thing. Like we have the best pipeline for you. Like that's kind of what every recruiting company says. Like we
Okay, fair.
have we have our finger in Silicon Valley, and we can just dial up anyone.
This sounds like architects, but they're like, we are
Yeah,
amazing at walking you through programming and schematic design and design development. Like, yeah, everyone is.
yeah. Include metrics where possible, and it's true. Like we don't. Sometimes they're like recruiters. Sometimes use like a time to fill metric and stuff like that, and we had none of that because we were a brand new firm at the time. So we we had what we had done is we poached like the best recruiters from a number of other companies.
Chat calling you out over here.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So like the thing is, it's definitely reading the bid. Like it's definitely looking over our material. So it's interesting that it said we were a good fit, and at the same time, it's like, yeah, you aren't doing a lot for the customer.
You're a good fit. You just didn't show it very
Yeah.
well.
Clarify relationship management and service scalability. And again, we weren't sure how we were going to scale. We didn't know because at the time we had three top recruiters, and we're like they're all busy. Um, so use consistent headers and subheaders. Again, I'd like to point out I was second on this bid. Not that I would have done better, but incorporate visuals. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of visuals. Add summary tables. Sure. Oh yeah, and so there we go. There's the big call out. Again, we didn't respond to their format. They had like this is how we want you to respond, and we said no. We'll just give you what we want to give you.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah,
Wild.
wild. Okay, so it is interesting. Like it's definitely really like honestly, this feels different than what ChatGPT would give me back. Like the agent does feel different than what I would get in a ChatGPT response. And actually, I mean, my curiosity is how closely linked are these? Like, is it going to try to reference all that stuff that I did over there? Like, if I do it in here, or should I like log out and do a blank GPT? No, I don't have a secondary GPT account. Like,
It shouldn't
yeah,
because your little GPT agent is it's almost like a separate entity. I
yeah,
don't know if you have like memories and all of that stuff turned on. I have turned all of that nonsense off
yeah,
because
yeah,
it was getting really confused. But
bold move, Ben. I like it. All right, so let's give it a shot. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm gonna ask it the exact same question
ooh,
um,
ooh.
and see what kind of answer it gives me. I'm just curious. Oh, it's definitely gotten off the formal piece, or it's gotten off the business casual. It's like, let me give you some bullets on what
Just
you
going straight to it.
yeah. Okay, so but it is calling out similar items. Um, so again,
It
like
does feel a little more high level,
yeah,
though,
yeah,
like
yeah.
use fuller sparingly, add an executive summary. Like those feel like those procurement best practices that it might reference in general.
Okay, yeah, I agree. If I look at these, so messaging and tone, so it's like, hey, very specifically, here's what it thought that our tone was okay. This one is like, yeah, okay, you're not talking to the customer. Okay, I get it. All right. So it's doing more of a straight read through, less of an understanding of who we are as a company. Okay, so there we go. So there are some like subtleties in messaging and difference that makes them value. Oh my goodness, it's 11:32. Whoops. All right.
I think we went over just a smidge on this one. It'd be
We
worth
went
it.
over just a smidge. All right, folks, this was interesting for me, and I'm kind of wanting to experiment with it a little bit more. Let us know in the community if you found this useful. Maybe we can do like a larger program on it if it is, or we can do something else, or maybe we can even have a working session where we help people train their GPTs or something like that. Because there is definitely something here. Because it is doing a different type of read through. Like it definitely is looking at the information in a different way than straightforward GPT. So I like it. All right, it is Thursday, August 30 or October 31st. Happy Halloween, happy Diwali. Both of those are kind of associated with darkness, but also kind of with the hopeful, like light overcomes darkness or community overcomes darkness. So hopefully your Halloween and Diwali are fantastic. Hopefully you're going into this weekend with not a lot of like crazy bids on your shoulders or something crazy happening to you. And yeah, I hope you have a great day and stay safe out there. But how about you, Rachelle? Any comments before we hang up?
Only That Tomorrow starts November 1st, right? So that's National Novel Writing Month. So if you want to join the other 11 people in our writing group, it's not too late. You can
Yeah.
hop in with us. We're going to be writing starting tomorrow and through the weekend because, it's a daily thing. But yay!
All right. Perfect. Take care, all. Thanks so much, y'all.
Bye, friends.
Bye.